Hello, I'm Father Brian O'Brien, the new pastor here at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I was meeting with Bishop Congerla. He kind of stopped me mid-conversation, and his line was, he said, I think I've got something for you. And I was like kind of confused by that. And he said, I'd like you to go to St. Francis Xavier in Stillwater. I have been thinking about being a priest probably since about 6th grade. Different people in my life had kind of planted that seed, and so it was always just sort of there. For me, though, it was my 3rd year in Tulsa. I was about 24, and I was actually driving, and I was on my way to give a talk at a retreat, and I kind of was just talking to the Lord, and I said, all right, Lord, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go to the seminary, and unless you stop me. And I just kind of felt sort of just this overwhelming sort of sense of consolation and peace. And to me, that was my sign of the Lord saying, it's time to go. The hardest part of moving to Stillwater was leaving Tulsa, leaving Bishop Kelly. So giving the last 10 years of my life to that place, and leaving is very difficult. The relationships I had there with other faculty and staff, and then especially with the students, they were just my life for those 10 years. And so to one day be there and one day not was pretty hard. And I missed it a little bit, but there was always something in me that just said, hey, one of these days you're going to get back to a parish. And so to be in that and just kind of live in that rhythm is really awesome. Stillwater, we got a lot of growing to do. I think we are right on the cusp of really something special here. We got some big plans for Stillwater. I think probably the best thing we're going to do, in addition to the new church, is having both parishes, St. John's at OSU and St. Francis, really focusing our mission and really be an on-fire parish for the Lord. So I think both ministries, both parishes kind of doing what they do best, I think makes everybody better. So that's the plan going forward. Father Kerry Wakula, working with him, I mean, it's a trip. He is a one-of-a-kind man, a one-of-a-kind priest. And he just brings an energy, a joy, a vibrancy of life that is it's contagious. So it's been great to see how much St. John's has grown under his leadership. And he and I work together really well. Very different styles, but that friendship that we have, and we've spent, since I've been here a couple weeks, we've spent a lot of time together. And I just see that growing as these two parishes continue to grow. I think the pastors really getting along and working well together is really key. And we get along very, very well. You know, our youth group is awesome. I've been super impressed since I got here. both with just the numbers and then also just the kind of the depth of the spiritual lives of the teenagers here. And so I think we want to keep that going. And I think probably the best thing we can do is just to invite more and more young people into the mix. And I know that there is a kind of a great spiritual hunger there, and a lot of teenagers looking for a purpose, looking for a mission in life, and not really finding it in the secular world. And one of the beautiful things the Catholic Church offers is a purpose that we've been put here for a reason, that Jesus put us on this earth so that we might serve him. And when you do that, and when you do that with firm faith, there's an amazing peace and joy that can only come from him. And just to the young people of Stillwater, that if I can ever be of assistance in any way, just if you want to talk, you need to go to confession, you want to come to Mass, if you've got questions about life, if you're thinking about the priesthood or religious life, that my job is to help you in that endeavor. And to echo the words of John Paul II, to not be afraid. I think especially in today's world, it's hard to be a follower of Jesus. You get made fun of, you get a lot of people who think less of you because of it, but your reward will be in heaven. So keep up the good work, do not be afraid, and it's great to be with you.